When most people think of Scottish islands, they picture the remote places, the Outer Hebrides, Shetland, and islands at the very edge of the country. This time I'm visiting an island that's surprisingly easy to reach. Just a short ferry ride from the mainland lies an island that was once named Scotland's best place to live, home to palm tree lined promenades, a 700-year-old castle, beautiful beaches, and one of the most extravagant houses in Britain. Let's explore the Isle of Bute. I have just arrived at the ferry to go to the Isle of Bute. Just over there in the little office, you need to buy a ticket, and then there is the ferry over there. I didn't make any booking. Oh, can you see it? The light just turned green. It's time to go onto the ferry. The ferry crossing, operated by CalMac, runs between the Cowal Peninsula and the Isle of Bute and crosses a narrow stretch of water known as the Isles of Bute. My ticket for one camper van and one passenger, it cost me £9.90, so that's for one-way ticket. I think this is where we're going. Is it just over here? That's literally it. Oh my goodness, we're almost there. It's less than 5 minutes. Okay, better go back down to the van already. I think that was the quickest ferry I've ever been on. We're already getting off. Like 2 minutes or something, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, they're already loading everyone off. I am first going to head to the main town on the Isle of Bute. It's called Rothesay, and it's home to the majority of the population of the island. And there's another ferry that actually takes 35 minutes, and it goes from Rothesay over to Wemyss Bay. The Isle of Bute is around 15 miles long and 4 miles wide. People have lived here for more than 8,000 years, and over the centuries, the island became a favourite retreat for Scottish kings before later growing into one of the most popular holiday destinations for generations of Glaswegians. Today, around 6,500 people live on the island. I have made it here to Rothesay. Let's go out and explore the town. I have parked up in this free car park in pretty much the centre of the town, and then you can just walk down to the seafront along here, and the seafront is just down there. Wow, this is so lovely. Look at the views into the distance over there. Wow. My plan is to have a little wander around the town, maybe get some lunch. There's also a castle here that I'd like to see as well. This doesn't even feel like Scotland. I think with the blue skies and the fountain, I don't know where it reminds me of, but it doesn't feel like Scotland. Resident seagulls ready to steal people's lunches. This is what the promenade looks like. And then over there is the CalMac ferry that goes to Wemyss Bay. I think it's the more popular route that people take when they come to the Isle of Bute. When the Isle of Bute became a hugely popular holiday resort during the Victorian era, thousands of holidaymakers would arrive in Rothesay by steamer from Glasgow, escaping the crowded industrial city for fresh sea air, beaches and grand seaside hotels. And Rothesay was even home to Scotland's first ever spa hotel. I want to know what this building is. This for me is my favourite type of architecture. Look how much detail there is on the railings. The town won Winner of Beautiful Scotland in Bloom, Medium Town Award 2003. Ah, it's the town cinema. Isle of Bute Discovery Centre. Maybe it's been used for different things in the past, but what a great use for it now. Cinema. And here's information about what this building was. The Winter Garden. There's all the information about the history. This impressive building is called the Winter Garden and was built in 1924. It quickly became one of the Isle of Bute's main entertainment venues, hosting variety shows, theatre productions, and famous performers. Over the years, the building has taken on many different roles, serving as a heritage centre, tourist information hub, and today it's the island's only cinema. Up here, there's meant to be some really interesting toilets. Let's go and take a look. So these toilets are meant to be very fancy inside. Oh my goodness, these are so fancy. The wooden toilet seats. I love all the marble and the tiles. There's the sinks as well. Wow. The female toilet isn't as fancy as the men's. Still looks quite old, but the men's is definitely much nicer. In here, there's also showers as well. The Victorian toilets are amazing, but it's only really the men's toilet that is in the old style. So I managed to go in because I bumped into someone who watches the channel and they had just come out and said there was no one else in there. So I went in and was able to get a quick video. So that was really lucky. It is so nice here. I really like this town, especially in the weather. Imagine back in the day, people coming here for a day out from Glasgow. What a lovely place to come. These days, the Isle of Bute is often considered one of Scotland's most livable islands. It has beautiful scenery, a strong sense of community, and a relaxed pace of life. Yet Glasgow is still less than 2 hours away. In 2022, it was even named Scotland's best place to live by the Sunday Times. This here looks like the main square in the town, and there's the bus stop, there's a hotel. Lots of places, like lots of shops and cafes. There's an amusement arcade over there as well. Over there's an ice cream shop. Look at that building there. How beautiful is that? There's some little cafes and bakeries here. The Gather Deli, which is just opposite, is meant to be really good, and they serve lots of local produce in there. Let's go in and see what they have. I picked up a few things in the Gather Deli. I got some coffee from the Isle of Bute. This is quite well known here on the island, the coffee roastery. So picked up a bag. I also got a rhubarb and apple soda, which looks really good. And I also got a focaccia toasted sandwich. Inside it looks like there's feta and aubergine. So good. That's yummy. I need to show you the view from this seat. It is amazing. How incredible is that for a view while you're having lunch? This is the post office, or the old post office, maybe. Wow, what an impressive building. My next stop is going to be the castle here in the town. Here is the castle. Wow, it has a moat all the way around it. How cool is that? In the middle of the town. Rothesay Castle was built in the 13th century and is known for its unusual circular shape, something rarely seen in Scottish castles. Over the centuries, it was attacked several times, including by Viking forces, and later became connected to the Stuart Kings of Scotland. Today, it's managed by Historic Scotland. So I think this is the tower. When I came into the castle, the man working here told me that he got attacked by a seagull, and I think this could be the place where he got attacked. There's some seagulls just nesting there actually. Oh yeah, there's lots of seagulls inside there, all nesting. Don't want to get attacked by a seagull. I think this over here is the tower with the seagulls, so I just had a peek inside, but let's go and have a look. Oh my god. This is where all the seagulls are. Oh my gosh. I just saw a bird poo coming down. I'm not going to go in any further because I don't want to get attacked by a seagull. Maybe you can be braver than me and go inside. Inside there's a lot of feathers and bird poo. Wow, it's like seagull paradise here. This is meant to be the best viewpoint from the castle here. And here is the view. Oh look, there's more seagulls there as well. That's crazy. This is basically the seagull castle here. Get great views out to the hills in the distance there, over all the nearby buildings. Wow. It cost me £8.50 to come inside the castle. It's quite a unique castle because it's got this moat and it's right smack bang in the centre of the town. I think it's time to leave Seagull Castle behind and go to the next place. Here is the Bute Museum. So it's open in the mornings and you can learn more about the island, history, archaeology inside there. Over here is a place called Bute Yard, and it's got some containers and I think with different food trucks. And there's also, I think, a distillery near here as well. Yeah, I think it's inside. There's the sign, the Isle of Bute Distillery. Let's have a look. What's in here? Bute Yard is a former Victorian railway goods yard that's been transformed into a creative community space with independent food and drink businesses, live events and workshops. The Isle of Bute Distillery is also based here and produces island-inspired gin, vodka and rum. I think you cannot come to Scotland's old Victorian holiday town without having an ice cream on the promenade. Very good. I have really enjoyed exploring around Rothesay, but there is so much more of this island to see, so let's hit the road. Before I go to the next spot, I'd like to say thanks to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I love to use music and sounds to make amazing videos about Scotland. I've actually been using Epidemic Sound for years now. It is my go-to platform for finding high quality music and sound effects. One of the best things about it is the vast selection of songs. There's over 55,000 tracks that you can choose from and more than 250,000 sound effects. So whether I'm editing a video about staying in a cosy Scottish island cottage or I'm putting together an edit of a drone sequence, there is always something that fits the mood that I'm trying to create. All of the music on Epidemic Sound is restriction free, so this means when I upload my videos onto YouTube, I can avoid having any copyright claims. I've never once had any copyright claim from any of the Epidemic Sound music that I've used. They've also added some really useful new features recently, including Assistant. Basically, you just type in what kind of music you need and it provides suggestions for you. How cool is that? If you're someone that makes professional films, or maybe you're just someone who wants to put together some social media edits, or maybe edit some videos of your family and friends, Epidemic Sound is a really useful platform to have. You can get a 30-day free trial plus 50% off your first 2 months by using the code Ruth. All you need to do is click the link in the video description below. Thank you again to Epidemic Sound. Now let's get going. Here in Rothesay, it is home to what is said to be the world's windiest road. Now, I'm not sure if I believe this because I've seen crazy videos of places like in South America or in India, different places abroad that have crazy windy roads, but apparently the windiest is here and it's called Serpentine Hill. I don't know if Ernie Boy can handle this. This is maybe going to be the biggest mistake I've ever made. Oh God. Oh God, right. I'm in first gear.
Turn right onto Mount Pleasant Road, then turn left onto Serpentine Road.
This is very windy. I hope there's no one coming down it, because if that's the case... Actually, I don't think I can do this. This is not going well. I can... Oh no. Okay. to reverse out. Oh no, this was not a good idea. What were you thinking, Ruth? No. Yeah, keep reversing, keep reversing. Nobody coming at the moment. Oh, it could be worse. It could be driving in France on the other side of the road. There's nobody around. Nobody's seeing me. I can't have been the first person to have done this. We've given up. Okay, you're almost out, you're almost out, you're almost out. Right. Deep breaths. Here is the windiest road. Look, someone's coming down it. This person looks like they know what they're doing. How are they going to handle this turn? That looks very tight. Ernie boy couldn't get that corner. That's the right vehicle to do. Oh my goodness. That is so windy. I think you definitely need to be in a car to go up that, because even with my size of van, it just wasn't possible at all. Look at the bends on that. That's it. I think you need to know what you're doing to go up and down here, because the curves need to be taken at an angle that you can actually get round them. Okay, here's someone coming. Let's see how they do it. Oh, he's done it before, hasn't he? Is he going to get... Oh yeah, you go wide. That's what the trick is. I think I didn't go wide enough. It actually goes all the way up to the top here, and then you get out at the top, and then you can continue driving on, but there's a different road along by the seafront which I'm going to take instead. I have now made it to the Ascog Fernery and Gardens, a little bit down the coast from Rothesay. After my visit to the Benmore Botanic Gardens on the Cowell Peninsula and visiting the fernery there, I absolutely loved it. So when I saw there was one here, I had to come and visit. Let's go inside. So this is the entrance to the fernery. Wow. It's like going into a little grotto. This is spectacular. My goodness. Look at the glass roof as well. That is incredible. The Ascog Hall Fernery was built in 1870 during the Victorian obsession with exotic plants and ferns, a craze known as pterodomania, or fern fever. At the time, collecting rare ferns became hugely fashionable across Britain, with people displaying fern patterns on everything, from pottery to furniture, while wealthy Victorians filled elaborate glass houses like this one with plants gathered from around the world. The Ascog Fernery and Gardens are basically someone's gardens in their house. So I met the owner when I came in, and he was telling me that this fernery is a little bit different to the one at the Benmore Botanic Gardens, because this one has been sunk into the ground and then it has ground heat coming up. So there's no heating in this one. In the one in Benmore, they had pipes and they had a furnace to heat it to keep the ferns alive. The owner was telling me that they probably sunk it into the earth for the aesthetic look of it rather than to save money, because it would have cost a lot of money to pay people to remove all the earth and rock under the ground. It is so impressive in here though. It's so nice to come and see this one too. I think ferneries are my new favourite thing to go and see in Scotland. Does anyone know of any more ferneries in Scotland? If you do, please let me know, because I want to go and visit all of them. I love ferneries. I have made it now to a cute little village by the sea. It's so nice here. I actually had never really considered coming to the Isle of Bute. It's really quite accessible, but I'd always had my mind set on going to further afield islands like Shetland or Orkney, but this place has honestly surprised me. It's really exceeded my expectations so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing even more. The Isle of Bute is home to the West Island Way, a long-distance walking route that stretches for around 30 miles from the island's northern tip to its southern coast. Along the way, it passes through a variety of landscapes, including woodland, moorland, farmland and coastal scenery. I am now about to start a short walk to a very early Christian site. You need to walk about 10 minutes through some farmland, and look what is behind me. Some cute little lambs! Just opposite, you can actually see the Isle of Arran. I have made it to St Blaine's Chapel. When I got to the top of the walk, I was wandering around and around, and it's built up on this stone wall, and I couldn't find the gate to get inside or any steps. So I walked all the way around, didn't see anything, then I started walking back the way, and then the gate was actually at the other end. So if you come, walk to the far end and then you'll find the gate to get inside. It dates back to the 6th century. I was reading on the plaque there that this place was just as important as the Isle of Iona, the monastery on the Isle of Iona at the time, which is incredible to think. It's such a stunning location here. It's in this sheltered hollow between the rocks, and then it's got wonderful views out towards the Isle of Arran. St Blaine's Church is one of Scotland's most important early Christian sites. A monastery was founded here in the late 500s by St Catan, and later led by his nephew St Blaine, before likely being abandoned during Viking raids and Norse rule around the year 800. Most of the church ruins seen today date from around the 1100s, when it became the main parish church for Bute. It gradually fell out of use after the Reformation in 1560 and became abandoned. I think this here is the churchyard. It says on the plaque there, the burial ground was reserved in the Dark Age times for the monks. My goodness, there could be bodies in here from 1,500 years ago. That's crazy. It feels so peaceful. There was quite a bit of wind when I parked up. This place is so sheltered. You can hear the birds, you can hear some leaves on the trees moving, but so peaceful here. It's hard to maybe sense that from watching the video. You have to be here to experience it, but isn't it incredible? I've got this whole place to myself here. This was really worth coming to. This is a really interesting place, especially if you compare it to the Abbey on Iona. It's so busy there, so busy, and yeah, you can't really enjoy the peace in the same way when there's a lot of other people there visiting at the same time as you. Nearby is Donegal Fort, an ancient fort built on dramatic cliffs. The site is thought to be more than 2,000 years old, and beneath the cliffs are sea caves associated with old smuggling stories and local legends. Actually, as I was heading towards the south of the island, I was thinking, maybe I won't actually come here, and I wasn't that bothered about coming, actually. I feel really stupid now because this is really one of the best places I've been in. Definitely the Isle of Bute today, but also in quite a while. This place, I think it's the location. It's spectacular. If you come to the Isle of Bute, this is a must visit. I have now arrived at some standing stones, and there's quite a few different standing stones here on the Isle of Bute, but this is said to be the best one. This is Black Park Stone Circle, which is thought to be around 4,000 years old. It was once a larger stone circle, but today only 3 of the original standing stones remain. This standing stone is quite a peculiar shape, isn't it? And it's being held up by a pole at the back. I've actually never seen a standing stone being held up like that before. I think this one's eaten a bit too many fish and chips. This is a very strange rock as well. It's a few different rocks all lined up here. This is the third and final stone here. These standing stones are really nice to see, but obviously in other places you can see much more impressive big stone circles. And yeah, I've never seen one being held up by a pole and then the collection of all the stones grouped together. Every time you go to a stone circle, you always find something different or new, I feel. There's always something different about them. No two standing stones or stone circles are the same. Last time I said one of these stones, like a big stone like this, probably would need about 10 people to carry it. But it was so funny in the comments, loads of you were saying, absolutely not, you'd need about 100 people to lift one of these stones. But what do you think? Maybe these ones are a bit smaller than the one I showed last time, because it was about 9 foot high. The one I showed last time that I said might need 10 people, that's the tallest standing stone in Shetland. And I said it probably took 10 people to lift it up. They must have been very strong people. I noticed just opposite these standing stones, it says the Baird Airstrip. Let's take a little look at this, because maybe there's a little place for planes to take off here. I saw some men walking down there. It looks like there's a plane over there. Oh yeah, it looks like there's a few planes actually. Maybe they're going to take off. Here we go. The Baird Airstrip, dedicated on September 25th, 2010 to celebrate the centenary of the first attempted all-Scottish heavier than air-powered flight by Andrew Blaine Baird, Isle of Bute. Oh, there's a picture of the plane there. Can you see? Yeah, I saw the people walking down here. So they maybe came to the island by plane. Really in the middle of nowhere here if you arrive by plane. Maybe it's difficult to see, but there's 2 planes over there. Oh, is it going to take off? I can see lights flashing. Yeah, it's moving. Look. The airstrip is the field. My goodness, so this is about to take off. Look at this. Oh my gosh, off he goes. Just one person in the plane. Here's his friend coming now. He's making his way up to the top of the field, and then he's also going to take off. How cool is that? Go out with your friend for the day in your plane. That was so fun to see. I thought the runway was further down there because that's where the planes were, but I didn't realise it was just the field. Wow, that was so cool. I have now made it to Scalpsea Bay, which is one of the must-see beaches here on the Isle of Bute. Let's go down and take a look. Scalpsea Bay is a beautiful reddish sand beach known for its views across to Arran and its resident seal colony, although there doesn't seem to be any sign of them today. The beach still has wooden anti-glider posts from the Second World War, which were placed there to stop enemy aircraft from landing. I think this might be the best view of Arran that I've seen so far. You can see Arran from lots of different places, whether you're on the Kintyre Peninsula, the Cowell Peninsula, the Ayrshire coast, but from this perspective, you see the mountainous side of Arran, Goat Fell, the Glen Rossa, which is the big valley on Arran. It's stunning. If you ever go to Arran, make sure you go to Glen Rossa. I think that's it there. Incredible. Because it's now the evening, it's really quiet. Everyone's gone home or gone back to their accommodation. So if you have the energy to keep travelling and going around after dinner time, you can usually get a lot of these places to yourself, which is good. I was looking on Google Maps and it looks like there's an honesty box on this west side of the Isle of Bute, so that's where I'm going to go next. This is the honesty box. It's called the pencil box, I think. Let's have a look inside. Maybe they sometimes have cakes in here, but there's none today. Or eggs, maybe. It's always nice when the old telephone boxes are used for different things. I didn't get anything. I was looking for food actually, maybe some tablet or something. So I'm going to head on now to my next stop, which is meant to be the best beach on the whole island. Ettrick Bay is a stunning mile-long sandy beach on Bute's west coast. It was once used for practice training for the D-Day landings. This beach is amazing, but the sun has pretty much gone down now, so I'm going to continue exploring the island tomorrow. And the main highlight of the island I'll be visiting tomorrow. Running through the heart of Bute is the Highland Boundary Fault, the geological line that separates Scotland's highlands from its lowlands. South of the fault, the landscape is characterised by fertile farmland, while the north is far more rugged, hilly and sparsely populated. The west side of the Isle of Bute feels very different to the other side where I was yesterday. The other side feels a lot more wealthy with all these huge big houses, but the west side here feels a bit more like a Scottish island with the rugged scenery, the beaches, the farms. It's quite a contrast. I tried the Isle of Bute coffee this morning and it was so good. If you come to the island, make sure you definitely try it. This morning I am going to head to what is maybe the most famous site here on the Isle of Bute. Let's go. I have made it to Mount Stuart. This is a neo-Gothic mansion that is known for its extravagant architecture and interiors. I've seen some photos of it and it looks incredible. I am so excited to see inside. I really think May is maybe one of the best times to come to places that have gardens because everything is so green and in bloom. Everyone that lived in these stately homes loved rhododendrons, didn't they? Wow, look at that. First glimpse of the house there. Up here is where you need to get your ticket to go inside, and that gives you access to the house and to gardens. It costs £19 to go in. I got 10% discount for entering the castle yesterday. I had a 10% discount code, but you also have to pay £4 for parking, which I think it's a bit ridiculous, to be honest, because you're already paying such a high price to go inside and you have to pay parking as well. So that's £4. Let's go inside and see the house. Mount Stuart House is one of Scotland's most extravagant Victorian mansions and the ancestral home of the Marquis of Bute. The house you see today was rebuilt by the 3rd Marquis of Bute after the original building was badly damaged by a fire in 1877. The family had made an enormous fortune from land, coal and the development of Cardiff docks, and by the late 1800s the 3rd Marquis was one of the richest men in Britain. When he rebuilt Mount Stuart, no expense was spared. His vision was to create something closer to a palace than a country house, and it became one of the most advanced homes of its time. It was one of the first houses in Britain to be entirely lit using electricity, and it also had a heated indoor swimming pool. The famous Marble Hall was built using more than 20 different types of marble and features a huge ceiling covered in stars and zodiac symbols inspired by astronomy. I booked the self-guided tour, which gives access to the main hall and several of the grand rooms, but the official guided tour includes even more areas of the house, so that may be worth doing if you want a deeper look inside. The estate itself is surrounded by around 300 acres of gardens and woodland. I've just finished looking around Mount Stuart House and wow, it is something else. I don't think I've seen anywhere quite like it in the whole of Scotland. Maybe Dumfries House is probably the most similar to this in terms of the interiors, but yeah, all the marble, all the furniture. Inside is so strict. I think out of every single place I have ever visited across the whole of Scotland, that is the most strict place I have ever visited. I understand, obviously, you know, it's a private home and they're allowing people to go in there, but yeah, there's just people watching you at all times. You feel like you're, I don't know, under scrutiny or something. I was taking some pictures and videos and people working there were just constantly looking at me, and I understand they need to keep the place safe and make sure nothing gets damaged, but yeah, I think I would have stayed longer if I didn't feel all the eyes on me actually. But apart from that, I think it is worth visiting just to see all the decor and architecture inside. My time on the Isle of Bute has sadly come to an end. I took the 35-minute CalMac ferry from Rothesay to Wemyss Bay, and the crossing with my vehicle cost £19.85. Bute was never really somewhere I'd thought much about visiting before, but it's such a beautiful island. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.